The crypto market is crashing right now, and this is an emergency broadcast. Well, it's not crashing, it's breaking down, but we need to discuss why and discuss what's happening right now because a lot of people are losing a lot of money right now. So this is kind of an emergency stream. I'm not fully set up right now, so bear with me as I get everything set up. I just woke up a few minutes ago, so let's get things going. So bear with me while I get the rest of the stream rolling. Let me pop this out so I can make sure I can talk to everybody, make sure I get my chat set up. But we are going to cover the price because there's a lot of stuff going on right now and there's a lot of people losing a lot of money. There's a lot of people who are scared. So give me just a few seconds to get the stream pulled up and we will talk about what's going on and what the next steps, because a lot of people are going to be wondering what's going to happen on Monday. Because we're seeing crypto crash right now while markets are down, right? Where markets are closed over the weekend. So let me get this pulled up and we will get going. Also, what people are getting in the stream. So if you're catching the replay of this stream, you can skip ahead to a few minutes to where it actually gets going while I'm getting everything set up here. And if you're coming into the stream, bear with me while we get going. Yeah, I'm gonna get it all for you. Let me get everything running up. I promise. Raul's in here. We are gonna get everything going. Just let me get the chat set up so we can actually have a full stream. I didn't have as much time to prepare as I usually do. Usually I go live at noon. So let me make sure I get to the right thing here and make sure everything's working. There we go. Boom. Save that, and that should be working now. Let's make sure. Good morning. Yes, okay. Good morning. All right, we are good to go now. So, well, we're not good to go because the market is crashing. We are going to talk about the market right now. So, if you're coming into the stream, oh my gosh, what is happening? That's what we need to talk about because right now, the price is god awful. Why is price god awful? Bitcoin is falling. It already tapped as low as 80,000. And we're getting a little bit of a breather right now with people buying back in. But to be honest with you, I do not think this is done. Okay? I don't think this is over. I called out 165 for XRP as what I was looking at. And again, nothing, real quick, disclaimer, nothing in this stream is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research. This is just what I'm looking at, my opinion and my interpretation. I am working to become a financial advisor. That is what I am working on and why I'm on this channel and created this channel. But I am not there yet. And even when I am, I will be the first person to tell you, do your own research. So now we can talk about what's actually happening with the price here. So Bitcoin is dumping. Why is Bitcoin dumping? XRP is dumping. Well, XRP is dumping because Bitcoin is dumping and the rest of the market is dumping because Bitcoin is dumping as far as crypto goes, right? As far as the rest of the crypto market. Now, gold and silver liquidated massively. We all know this, right? That was the big news on Friday. Gold and silver liquidated massively. Gold pulling back from 5,500 all the way down to 4,700, and then silver futures going from, what was it, 118, and they got all the way down to 73 at one point. These are the largest liquidations of gold and silver since the 80s. Okay, we haven't seen anything like that since the 80s. Why did it happen? Well, let's look. Silver went on and don't worry, we're going to get back into crypto. So if you're coming in, this crypto is because of gold and silver. The entire market, stock market, everything right now is because of gold and silver. And I'm going to explain to you why gold and silver impacted it, how it's impacting it, so we can understand what to expect Monday and Tuesday. Because this is not over, I don't think. And let me get into it. We got to tell the story, okay? I have all the info, but this is just the first leg of the story of what's going on right now in the market, because I do believe the pain is not over. So what is that? And what does that mean for us as crypto holders, as XRP holders, as Bitcoin holders, as whatever you are holding? Because this is going to impact everything, okay? I hold 5 different cryptos that I am passionate about. That's XRP, Canton Network, Ondo, HBAR, and Chainlink. Those are my 5. I don't know what yours are, but regardless of what your crypto is, this impacts you and is important. So now back to the charts. So silver had the worst pullback, right? Now, that being said, it dropped from 118 all the way down to the 70s, right? Terrible pullback. Well, keep in mind, silver's still up 19% for the month of January right now, okay? Which is still a large run for silver. Gold is still up for the month of January. Now, when we put that in context, that kind of calms things down a little bit, right? But too many people were playing with leverage when it comes to gold and silver. This is not a normal run for silver, okay? Silver's not supposed to go up 80%. It went from $75 on January 9th to $121 on January 29th. So in 20 days, silver went on almost a 100% run, okay? This is not normal behavior in the market. There was way too much leverage and people took advantage and crashed the market. Who pays when that happens? Usually it's the retail investor. But when you get a crash this large, you have entire banks going under, which we've already had one reported. It was absorbed by another bank. There's more. Okay, this hit everybody. So when you have liquidations of this magnitude, they have to sell in order to stay solvent. So what do they sell first? Risk assets. They sell crypto, they sell Bitcoin, they sell what they can sell. So it starts a cascade effect. So you have all this leverage that runs out in gold and silver. So now they have to go sell other things. So what do? They go to Bitcoin and start selling Bitcoin, and Bitcoin plunges and drops all the way to 80,000. Then they start selling alt assets as well. The alt assets, the more, so XRP goes down. Then they get into their stocks. Don't forget, NASDAQ went down as well. Okay, then the market closed. So we don't know the entire extent of what this is going to do yet. Okay? We don't know how hard this is going to hit markets because we already have reports of some banks going under. So, what can we expect for Bitcoin? What can we expect for XRP? What can we expect for the rest of our crypto assets? Well, I specifically care about XRP. And I specifically study XRP and watch it every single day. So that's what I'm going to discuss. But if you're watching this and you're about other cryptocurrencies, I'm with you. This is an entire crypto market thing here, guys. Okay? This is not just one asset that's going to pay. And I really don't think it's over. Engage in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know how many people are in here. 11 in here right now, so it's still early in the stream. Engage in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button, but we are going to talk more. And if you're coming in late, I will do a recap, but I want to know where you guys are at with this right now because a lot of people are coming in. I'm sure it looks like most people are leaving really, really quickly. I'm not sure what people are wanting me to tell them. But keep the chat rolling because we are going to be covering this. I don't think it's done today. This is going to continue probably all weekend. Again, I follow XRP, so that's what we're looking at right here. But whatever crypto you are following, we are going to work through this together. But I have data for you, and we are going to explain it. So crypto pulling back now because of the largest dump in gold and silver when we were having whole banks going insolvent and getting acquired by other banks. They haven't necessarily gone bankrupt yet. I do believe, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I'm trying to present a very strong realization that we could be looking at a major hit to the markets like we saw in 2008. Okay? I don't know if they're going to be able to save this one. But we had the massive gold and silver sell off. And then Trump also appointed Kevin Warsh on Friday. Now, he won't actually step in as the Fed chair, whatever his official title is, taking over the Fed. He won't actually step into that until May. But he is known to be more hawkish, and the markets didn't like that either. So you have a combination of those two effects, and there's more. And again, not trying to scare anyone, but there's more. I follow the ETFs daily, and we follow it daily, okay? So if we look at if we look at what Grayscale was holding in their ETF on Wednesday, as of Wednesday morning, they were holding 112 million XRP. As of now, well, actually, it was as of Friday morning, they hold 58 million XRP. So Grayscale dumped over half of their trust bag right before this happened. What does that tell you? Is this planned? Do people know things that we don't? But when I see a major company like that dump half their damn bag before a crash, it makes me raise an eyebrow. Now, there's more to it than that. We're going to continue. So Grayscale dumped half their bag before the crash. Trump fans spent $550 million on his family's crypto token. Now they're begging to get out. When Trump fans snapped up $550 million WillFi, the token tied to Trump's family World Liberty Financial Crypto Project, they thought they were getting the deal of the century. Tokens bought for 15 cents to 5 cents, blah, 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 blah. People feel like they got screwed on WillFi, okay? Let's take a look at WillFi and see what it did over the last couple days. Now, remember, mind you, World Liberty Financial Token sold off 30% hours before the liquidation event on October 10th. That's why I'm not invested in WillFi. Food for thought. Not financial advice. WillFi is still dumping now, but look at that. WillFi dumped from 18 cents to 15 cents on the 26th. Oh, man, I hate being right sometimes, guys. That's sad. I mean, that's just very, very apparent. Okay, well, so the trend continues with WillFi. Invest at your own risk, not financial advice, but it continues to dump before everything else dumps in these major events, like someone knows something. Oh, gosh. That being said, it is down as well. Now, a lot of people are scared because, again, I don't think this is over. But I am not one. Again, my channel is about the long view. We're about what crypto, XRP, and other things, right? The 5 infrastructure tokens I hold, XRP, Canton Network, HBAR, Chainlink, and Ondo. We're about what this can be over the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Not what the price is necessarily today, tomorrow, or next week. Now, this is a significant amount of pain. I'm not trying to deter that. I believe it's going to continue here a little bit. But fundamentally, I also believe that it does not change anything for the outlook of crypto, for the outlook of XRP, for the outlook of Ondo, of any of the cryptocurrency, of any cryptocurrency you may be invested in. I don't think this changes anything. I mean, well, it doesn't change anything as far as the fundamentals go. So what does that mean? It means when there's fear and blood in the streets, buy the deep. Not financial advice, but I am here for the long view. And this presents a very strong buying opportunity. If you watch the stream regularly, I said yesterday I fully expected XRP to pull back to $1.65, and I had buy orders set at $1.65. And I have announced that previously when XRP was at 205 that I had purchased puts on XXRP. And that when it gets to $1.65, I plan to sell those and flip those to longs. Well, I can't do that right now because it's Saturday, so I have to wait to see what happens on Monday. But I do believe once we get through this crushing bounce right now, nothing fundamentally has changed for crypto. And I've talked about it repeatedly on my streams that I'm viewing this as a buying opportunity. Now, I did not expect crypto and silver to dump trillions, but if you really, really think about it, if you look at what's happening with Bitcoin, if you look at what's happening in the stock market, the fact that XRP has only pulled back to $1.65 is kind of astounding. When you really think about what just took place in gold and silver, a $14 trillion collapse essentially in gold and silver in a period of hours. That's never happened before. We haven't seen anything like this since the 80s. And honestly, I think this is bigger than the crash we saw in the 80s. Now, this is why we build out for infrastructure. When I'm talking about cryptocurrencies, as far as the long view approach to cryptocurrencies, it's about the tokenized financial economy that's being built out over the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. My 5 core pillars are XRP, Canton Network, Ondo, Chainlink, and HBAR. Now, that being said, how is the crypto market doing right now? Canton Network is still up 10% amidst all of this today. It's the only thing other than XMR that is up as far as holding up. And I know XRP is not a company. It's the native token that resides on the XRPL that is used to help settle transactions and cross-border payments. Never claimed that XRP was a company. But Canton Network is doing well. And Canton Network is not a company either. Neither is Ondo. They are native tokens to their blockchains. But they do have major companies backing them. I talk about the Canton Network because it has major backing. I talk about XRP because it has major backing. I talk about Ondo because it has major backing. Chainlink and HBAR, my 5 pillars. And Canton Network is holding down the fort right now. But again, we are going to discuss, because I know we have new people coming in. Keep the chat going. I'm going to get into the chat here very, very soon. Now, we've talked about the Trump coin. We've talked about these major liquidations. But what is actually taking place during these liquidations? Today, XRP is under heavy pressure, falling 7.5% and trading below 73 cents after a recent gold price crash. The sharp drop triggered $72 million in long liquidations for XRP traders. Leverage, long liquidations. Despite this drop, on-chain data from Sentiment shows that XRP millionaire wallets are rising for the first time since last September, suggesting XRP may be entering a quiet accumulation phase behind the scenes. After trading near $1.93 for the past 2 weeks and losing the $1.80 support, the sharp move came as broader crypto weakness triggered $68 billion in long liquidations across the market, pushing XRP down to around $1.70 before the buyers started stepping in. Now, we are still having more sales, obviously. However, XRP alone recorded 72 million in liquidations, with nearly 98% coming from long liquidations. So 98% of XRP liquidations was leverage. So that means only 2% of this liquidation was actually tokens. So in addition, data from SoSo Value shows that January 29th, XRP ETF saw an outflow of 92 million. So remember, we talked about the morning before the crash, Grayscale cut half their damn bag. That makes me raise an eyebrow. And we confirm that by looking at the Grayscale ETF Trust right here, 58 million when it was up around 112 million before. So Grayscale offloaded before that crash happened. Now, let's see what else we have. Let me get back to this one. So the first major outflow this week, despite the XRP ETF inflows since launch, now stand at 1.2 billion. So remember, when in doubt, zoom out. This is the reaction to gold and silver. When you have this amount of liquidations, right? People have to cover themselves and they have to sell whatever they can to stay solvent. People were over leveraged in gold and silver. They were over leveraged in crypto. One thing cascaded to the other. And that's why I say I don't think we are done with this. I don't think this is over because the market's closed, right? The market's closed on Friday before this was over. So we don't know the full impact of what the rest of the selling is going to be. We can kind of see it play out in advance in crypto because of 24/7 selling in crypto. And we're seeing crypto go down right now, right? We're having a breakdown right now. That's why I'm saying I don't think this is over. I think we're going to really find out the true impact on Monday. Now, again, a lot of people are scared because number is going down. But when we look at this from a long view perspective, right, we are here to invest over the next 10 years. Dollar cost average in. When we look at it from a long view perspective, nothing fundamentally has changed for any of your XRP, Bitcoin, Ondo, Canton network. Nothing fundamentally has changed for any of your projects other than liquidity in the market breaking because people got greedy with silver and gold. And there is definitely some form of manipulation. But remember, gold and silver are not supposed to pump 80% in a month. And if you zoom out, silver and gold are still up for the month of January. A lot of leverage got liquidated. It was never supposed to run up that high, and now people are going to pay the price. Someone's making money on this. Just letting you know, people are making money on this. The people who shorted things a couple weeks ago are making money on this. So this is what happened according to the Wall Street Journal. Excuse me. Stocks fell. Silver and gold plunged. The dollar strengthened after investors learned that President Trump's pick for the Federal Reserve Fed governor turned critic Kevin Warsh. Remember, Kevin Warsh is hawkish. Now that has their Wall Street Journal is pinning this on them announcing Kevin Warsh, like, you know, less likelihood for quantitative easing, less likelihood for rate cuts, which when people are fearful of the dollar weakening, they run to gold, silver, and other assets. Well, you have a hawkish person coming in. That means you don't need to be as fearful. That strengthens the dollar. So major U.S. indexes were lowered by NASDAQ Composite. So NASDAQ fell 1%. Precious metals plummeted with gold down 11%, silver dropping 31%, both suffering their worst day slides since 1980. The Wall Street Journal Index rose 0.9%, its sharpest increase since May, while longer-term bond yields edged higher. Some market participants see Warsh as relatively safe option given the Fed experience and his track record as the inflation hawk, or supporter of tight monetary policy. That could make him more resilient to calls from the administration to slash interest rates, a prospect that helped the dollar and hammered precious metals on Friday. Trump, who settled on Warsh, said, no doubt he will be one of the greats, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Warsh has recently contended that AI and deregulation could help hold down inflation. He also wants the Fed to have a much smaller balance sheet. Now, remember, Warsh is very much in favor of less Fed Reserve oversight. Essentially, he doesn't want to impact the markets. He kind of wants to let the markets figure things out on his own. Is kind of his philosophy as far as how he wants to handle the economy, which strengthens the dollar. Right? That means less inflation, things like that, and it makes cash a safer option, at least in theory. So that helps spark this, as well as the fact it's had a crazy ass run up for the last several weeks that it should not have had. So let's hop into the chat. Let's talk to the chat here and see what everyone is doing today. Let me find the right one here. And then we will get into a recap of what's going on. So Jinzak was the first person in here. That's a name I haven't recognized. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the like button, share it far and wide so that way you can get the real information and not the hype and scare and fear tactics. But yes, significant pain, numbers going down, going to continue to go down, and no one could foresee a crash in metals like we just had. But I mean, I have been screaming, don't buy the top, but you know, yeah, everything is dumping now because of metals. Raul says his phone was going crazy. It woke him up. Yeah, with all the alerts of everything going bad. I literally just woke up and checked my phone and saw we were still hovering around $1.70. And then I got an alert that it fell below $1.70. And I just saw everything go. I'm like, I need to get online right now. I don't think it's time to run for the hills. For me, I'm waiting to see, personally, I'm waiting to see where the dust settles on Monday and Tuesday. If you're new to the stream, you don't know this, but for the people who have been in the stream, I have talked about, I had literally just closed on a real estate deal on Friday, and I'm waiting for that money to hit my account so I can redeploy. And I was hoping that the number would go down a little bit so I could jump back in, and it looks like I got my wish. Now, again, I don't want things to go down for everyone else, but my view has always been on what crypto, blockchain, and infrastructure builds are going to be for the next 5 to 10 years, right? Not necessarily what's happening with price today. So when fundamentally nothing has changed and I see price drop by 50% over the last few months, then to me, that's a buying opportunity. I know it's painful, but 5 years from now, it's a good thing. It's all a matter of perspective. Raul says because gold and silver dump, maybe. Yes, it's because gold and silver are dumping. Jinzak says, I am scared. You're not alone on that. A lot of people are scared right now. Before I actually went live, I was watching another stream, and yeah, there's a lot of people who are really, really concerned right now in regards to the price, and it's scary, man. But Raul says, don't be scared. XRP is a strong company. Oh, that's why someone said, yeah, XRP is not a strong company. Ripple is a strong company, but the XRP army does provide strong support for XRP, but a lot of the XRP army is scared right now. Stephen Haynes says, I should have invested it all in the CC. It's immune to the crash. Canton Network has been holding up extremely well. Again, it's one of my core pillars. I invest in all of them because it's about the long view, Stephen. I know it seems like that right now, but we're talking about a 1 month lens. We're not talking about a 5-year lens. A lot can change. A lot can change in a month. A lot can change in a day. A whole lot can change in a day. And no, Skiller, I see now that you are responding to the comment. I didn't see the other comment. You are correct. XRP is not a company. Ian Jar says, where do all of these cells come from? Is it all bots? No. So, well, when you say bots, okay, when people are trading with leverage, right? Whether it's day trading, intraday trading, swing trading, when people are trading with leverage, they have to set their stops, okay? Because so when that stop gets hit, they have to liquidate their position. So if someone goes long on a position to where, so you can set up a leveraged trade. If, say for instance, I'm day trading, which is something I have dabbled in the past, okay? So say, for instance, I'm day trading and I'm long on XRP. Let me pull up a chart. We will explain how this leverage system actually works. Again, not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, okay? But let's pull up the chart so we can see it. All right. So here is our chart. I'm going to zoom way in. We're going to get, I used to dabble in day trading, so we're going to get in on the 1 minute chart, okay? So, and I would never use Robinhood to day trade. Let me just put that out there. So this is the 1 minute chart. I'm looking at the pattern. We have just fallen under EMA 9. I see the next bottom to retest right around here. This, I'm just doing some macro flash TA, technical analysis. We hit a oversold on the 1 minute chart. It's probably going to come down and tap this bottom. I'm thinking that's going to be around here, and then it'll pull back. So I would set my buy order at $1.63. Let me draw a box. Box, shapes, rectangle. Okay, boxes are easiest way. So I would set my buy order at $1.63, and I would set my stop. There we go, right there. So I would set my buy order, if this is what I believed would happen, I would set my buy order at $1.63.6, and then my stop at $1.63 even. And this 1 unit would represent $1,000. Okay, so this 0.6 cents movement represents $1,000. So it buys here, and if it hits my stop of $1.63, my position is sold. So when I set this up for $1,000 per unit of risk, and we're going to be able to see this play out too. That's exactly why I did it. So when I set this up for $1,000 per unit of risk, whatever I'm using to help me generate that leverage purchases, the purchase order is for whatever amount of XRP would equal that amount of leverage. Okay, so we're talking thousands and thousands of XRP, right? Now, if I get stopped out, if it falls below, that position gets liquidated. So that reflects the sale of thousands and thousands and thousands of XRP. Well, when you do that on a larger scale, with people doing millions and billions of dollars per unit versus $1,000 per unit, you can create a cascade effect. And people are doing that with gold, people are doing it with silver, people are doing it with crypto. So that's how you get these massive spikes. And that's why when we were talking about the whale accumulation, right, that the liquidations were 98% leverage and whales were accumulating. So that's how you can have these massive crashes and people are still buying. So here we go, boom, it just clicked it. So I purchased my order, and now my stop is in, hypothetically. Not really happening. And again, none of this is financial advice. So boom, it's been purchased. So now we see how this plays out. And I would set my stop for my exit, if you will. If I'm trying to make this move, my exit would be to see if this flips EMA 9. If it does not flip EMA 9 and it bounces, I sell. And if it does flip EMA 9 and continues, I would sell at $1.65, which would be 2.5 units of risk. So therefore, I would win, or I would come ahead with $2,500. You know, that's how day trading happens. That's how scalping happens. So boom, it's going up. Let's see if it touches EMA 9, and then we'll get back into the chat. I want to see how this plays out. Again, this is the 1 minute chart, and we're talking about how leverage works. I'm giving an example. This is not an active trade, but this was just an example of how leverage works in trading that can collapse a market. So right now, we are in the green if this was a real transaction. And again, engage in the chat. I am hopping back into the chat here in just a second, and we'll get back into what's actually happening with the crash. This is all kind of more explaining how it could possibly happen because of the gold and silver liquidations, as opposed to just watching the chart. Boom, and it spikes up. It hits EMA 9. Is it going to push forward? And it's trying to. Will it continue to clear it? Da na 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 na. Will it push beyond EMA 9? No, it doesn't. So I would sell. Boom, sell, and I just made about $700 if that was a real trade. Now, did I sell too early? But you have to stick to your philosophy. You can't think about it in those terms. So, boom, and now it's turning back to red. So I did not sell too early. Or is it green? Or is it red? See if it taps EMA 9 again and comes back down. So yeah, that play would have won about, or would have made about $700 or $800. Now, if ifs would have gone the other way, again, I would have been stopped out and liquidated, and I would have lost that position of thousands of XRP, which is how you get that cascade effect, but you still have people buying all the way down. And as far as buying real XRP, nonetheless, it hurts the value all the way around. So let's get back to the 1 hour chart. We don't need to discuss that anymore and hop back into, so that explains it as far as if it's coming from bots or not. What do you think the floor might be for XRP? It's hard to determine right now. We really won't know until we see what the fallout is of gold and silver on Monday. I mean, if I'm trying to get like worst possible case scenario, I mean like doom and gloom scenario, probably around like $1.20 as far as a doom and gloom scenario. I think we got to see what happens around 150 this weekend and on Monday right now. That's truly what I believe. I mean, this gold and silver thing is bigger than what a lot of people want to give it credit for. Like banks went under. We haven't seen like something this massive since 2008. You just bought more Ondo and XRP. It helped dollar cost average. There you go. Dollar cost average in. We're here for the long view, right? We're here about what prices are going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. This is a market crash that was controlled by silver and gold being pumped up way too fast, way too quick. And we will come into the recap and I will show you guys all of that information. But gold and silver pumped up way too fast, way too quick. They crashed out, leverage got unwound, it cascaded into the stock market, it cascaded into Bitcoin, it cascaded into crypto, it cascaded into everything. And then the markets closed, so we still don't know the full effects yet. We haven't seen anything this massive since 2008. Back to this channel gives hope to Swedish traders. I have nothing to lose if I don't sell. All money in XRP selling now would wreck me. Holding me will make me a billionaire. So there you go, Eric. So yeah, it's about the long view. Yeah, I mean, if you sell at a loss, the only way you lose an investment is if you sell for a loss. For the long view play, it would be the dollar cost average in over time. So if you still believe in the functionality, use case, and everything that is whatever your crypto investment is, I'm not just talking about XRP, because this crash affects more than Bitcoin holders, XRP holders, Ethereum holders, whatever your crypto is, it affects everybody, not just one of us. I can't believe there's only 15 people here with the markets doing this right now. Do I need to have a stronger clickbait title and thumbnail? Engage in the chat, guys. The chat is the lifeblood of the stream. The more you guys are talking, the more it tells people to come in. But yeah, it seems really, really like a light stream, but it's not my normal streaming time either. So that could be why a lot of people aren't online right now. But I do have some more information to cover. I think I had a video here saved up. I planned on going live at noon, and giving you guys all of this information. But this is another good explanation of what's going on right now for you. Oh, hang on. Let me get it fixed. Hang on.
And joining me now is the Chief Executive Officer of SoFi. That would be Anthony Noto. Anthony, this last November, you became the first U.S. bank to bring crypto to retail traders. I'm trying to wrap my arms around this and what it means. Does that mean that you're operating like a crypto exchange?
We are a broad-based financial services company, and among many products, we do offer buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency, and it's a great product to diversify your investment holdings. We also offer single stocks auto investing through robo accounts, IPOs, alternative assets, as well as several SoFi ETFs. So it's part of our overall invest offering, in addition to providing home loans, credit cards, SoFi Money, which is checking and savings, as well as student loan refinancing, and then unsecured personal loans and a credit card.
Okay, you do the whole gamut, don't you? But has the crypto element, has that shown the best growth or very, very strong growth?
We just re-entered offering that product in December of 2025. The bulk of the growth in this most recent quarter, we grew 37% year over year, came from other products outside of crypto. It's very, very small.
Okay.
The fastest growing segment was our financial services segment, led by SoFi Money, in addition to the growth in our tech platform business, and then finally our lending business. But it was broad-based growth, 37% year over year, our first quarter of $1 billion of revenue or more, with 29%.
So big banks are still doing well. What a shocker. And crypto is just a small part. Again, crypto has not gone mainstream yet. We are just now touching the very beginnings of this. So let's get back into the chat here and see. And I'll do a recap for everyone coming in late. It's an early stream. I'm going to keep this going for a while because there's going to be a lot of people popping in, I feel like. I feel like a lot of people are going to be popping in because of what is happening. Right? What is happening? So let's go actually take a look at what's actually happening. We did fall below 165. We came up and now 165 is acting as resistance. This means number will continue to go down. How down will it go? That is the question. So our next level of support is going to be around 150. So that's what we're watching next is 150. What's happening in the rest of the market? Bitcoin is still dropping. It has hit as low as 80. And again, why is this happening? The market is still reacting to what happened with gold and silver. Now, it's important to zoom out and understand what this really means. So yes, silver and gold had the largest amount of single-day liquidations since 1980. So the largest liquidation event we've seen in 45 years. Banks went under, right? That is not nothing. This is bigger than what happened in 2008. Now, the scary thing about it is this large drop, yes, is bigger than what happened in 2008. But for the month, silver and gold are still up. The markets are still up. This is people playing with leverage and getting greedy, and then positions getting liquidated because they are over leveraged. That's exactly what happened here. And then it cascades into the other sectors because they have to cover those positions. So they have to sell what's the first thing to go if you have to cover a position? Your risk assets. That's crypto. Next is stocks, right? Tech stocks. So that's why we saw NASDAQ go down. That's why we saw crypto go down after this massive liquidation in gold and silver. Banks got resolved. We already have at least one confirmed. There's probably more because, again, this just happened on Friday and markets closed. So what does that mean for crypto and our investing? Because a lot of people are scared and concerned right now. So many people came into crypto when it was at its top, right? So many people came into crypto in July, August. And now they've lost half, right? If you bought at an all-time high, you've lost half of your money already. And that is a very scary proposition. That's a very scary place to be, especially when I'm sitting here telling you it's going to continue to go down probably. Right? But at the same time, I have said and will always continue to say, my channel is here for the long view. It's about what crypto is going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And fundamentally, nothing changed for crypto yesterday or the day before or today. Fundamentally, Adoption and tailwinds are still behind crypto. CFTC and SEC are on the same page. For the first time in history, we have a pro-crypto administration, a pro-crypto Fed chair, a pro-crypto CFTC head, and a pro-crypto SEC head. Okay? There is progress happening with the Clarity Act, right? It got past the Senate Ag Committee. Will it get past the Banking Committee? We don't know, but we know that there are meetings happening this week at the White House with Ripple and Coinbase and R3, right? So crypto is moving forward. Nothing fundamentally has changed for crypto, but market fear will drop the price of crypto, which to me means nothing fundamentally has changed. So I buy. When there's blood in the street, buy the deep. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just for entertainment and educational purposes only. Do your own research. I'll be the first person to tell you that. But I plan on buying this week. That's just me. Okay, let's get back into the chat and see what everyone has to say again here. And we're gonna keep this going. I don't know how many people are in here. I really don't care. But there's a lot of people who are scared, concerned, and I want to talk to those people. How's everyone feeling? Engage in the chat. How are you feeling today? Where are you at with everything? Let's talk. Let's go. Okay? Let's see. Is this the turning point where XRP decouples from Bitcoin? I mean, it very well could be. It depends on utility. And when we say, actually, that's an excellent point. Thank you, Jinzak. It depends on utility. We do follow utility here, and I've been talking about this. We've been talking about account set activity and payments volume, right? So one of the things I follow as far as utility for XRP is the account set activity has been maxed out for the last 3 months, right? This is permissions, on-off ramps for accounts, getting things set up and activated so they can use the ledger. Now, we have been waiting for this to translate to payments because this is more activity than the entire history of the ledger combined in 3 months, right? So decades of information. Now, that being said, we've been waiting for it to translate to payments volume. Well, on the 29th, we did 1.6 million. And then yesterday, another 1.465 million. And we're on track to do over another 1.5 million today. So, and it has been steadily increasing since Christmas. So we are starting to see a translation to payments activity. I want to see that continue and move forward. But that, I believe, is what could cause a decoupling from Bitcoin in the sense that there would need to be probably either some kind of crash or some kind of mass appreciation to separate the two, but it would be driven by utility. I've always said that the price appreciation of XRP is going to be driven by utility. We need to give XRP something to bridge on ledger. Right now, it still is a speculative asset. Now, it is being used. There is real utility, but until things are signed into law, right, to where it can't go away with a new administration, it's not permanent yet. So therefore, it's, to me, by definition, it's still speculative in that regard. That's just me, though. Not financial advice, as always. Let's see. Oh, what happened there? Raul says, I'm not selling. I am buying more. All right, Raul. Everyone's still sleeping? Yeah, they might be. And the rest are screaming into their pillows. Quelly says, I am sick to my stomach thinking I could have made a big mistake investing about 40% of my portfolio in XRP, praying this picks up soon. Very nervous right now. Well, I mean, that is a very, very nervous place to be. I mean, it never feels good when the number is going down, but that's typically the time to buy. We should never buy at the top, and that's what I'm trying to teach people. You said it right here. I'm glad I didn't join the gold and silver train. I would have gone in at all-time highs and lost a lot. I listened to you, Scott, when you said a few weeks ago saying silver had ran its course. Well, I didn't say necessarily that silver has run its course. Remember, important disclosure, I hold silver, right? My average for silver is at $55. But what I was saying is when I was looking at it, if I'm looking to make an investment in silver, or if I'm looking to invest some money when silver was at like $90, I think is what we were talking. I'm like, I'm not buying silver right now when it's at an all-time high. I believe that there are other things in my investment portfolio that were a better option. And I highlighted in that stream, actually, I highlighted copper, which did extremely well and didn't crash nearly as hard as the other metals, by the way. Let's look at copper. Because remember, copper is more of a long-term infrastructure play. It's typically not very volatile, but it has been steadily going up over time. So let me pull that up for you, and we'll see how copper did. Where's that? Come on now. Boom, here it is. Copper. Let me pull this up here. Look at copper. Where's my copper futures? There they are. All right, copper futures. So it did pull back down, but remember, it got all the way up to 660. And remember, we were talking the other day. We were actually talking 2 or 3 days ago, I think, and it had pulled back down to around $6. So really, I mean, copper shot up to here, but I mean, it really hardly pulled back at all. So copper, it took a hit, but nothing like silver and gold did. My copper investment's doing strong here. And again, too, when we're looking at silver and gold are still up for the month. Important distinction. For the month, they are still up. Again, silver and gold aren't supposed to run 80% in a month. They never would. This is greed and liquidation of leverage. And it impacts everyone, unfortunately. Again, banks got shut down. I mean, it's a real thing. Let's get back into the chat here. So yeah, I hope no one bought the top of silver. Rolo says, don't be scared. I'm at 80% on XRP. Okay. There are news about the Strait of Hormuz. Could Jake Claver's predictions come true? I can only hope. Again, I have always said I don't think Jake Claver's predictions are going to come true, but I will happily be wrong. I will happily be wrong. My plan is for the long view of XRP over the next 10 years. If it appreciates to fantastic prices over the next year or two, I'll gladly be wrong and sit and eat my humble pie on my private island. But I'm trying to be honest with you guys about what I think is going to be happening over the next 10 years in crypto. I don't think it's going to be a massive appreciation to $1,000 over the course of the first year. I mean, it's just, I know it's not the first year, but of this year. It's good to invest in gold and silver. I have both, still making money on it. Got it about 8 years ago. Again, me too. I hold gold, silver, copper. Those are part of my infrastructure plays, right? I am all about building out for infrastructure of the future. That is my investment philosophy. So I do hold gold, silver, copper. If you guys are new to the stream, please hang out with us, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. I stream every day, Monday through Saturday, usually at noon. I went early today because of what's happening in the market. I feel like I needed to address a lot of people who might be waking up and being, what the hell? And they're scared. Because we really, really need to make sure we're understanding that fundamentally, this has nothing to do with crypto and everything to do with gold and silver plunging with a historic drop in a matter of hours. And that causes liquidation events, right? And people have to sell what they have to sell to cover those positions. And risk assets go first. Dean, you see, what do you think CC might pull back to? It just keeps rising. Again, I have been, for those of you who are new to the stream, Canton Network is one of my core pillars, and I've been standing on a soapbox, jumping up and down for about a month about Canton Network, and we're starting to see why. Now, could I have predicted that Canton Network not only would survive a crash like this, but continue to go up? No, I couldn't have predicted that, but truthfully, it does not look like Canton Network is being affected by this crash. So could it pull back? Sure, it could pull back. I would say if it were to pull back, it'd probably pull back to like 14 cents, if anything. What's it up to now? It's up to 19 cents, roughly. Yeah, 19 cents. It's all-time highs. this crash in Canton Network continues to hit all-time highs. I think at worst it pulls back to maybe like 14 or 15 cents. But again, Canton Network, for those of you who are new to the stream, I actually said it yesterday. Canton Network is one of those ones that I view. I'm not trying to time a top or a bottom to get into it. I'm just buying it when I can. You know what I mean? And I see a lot more people coming in. I will buy Canton Network on its high. I see it. Because it's still really early and its market cap is only climbing. When I first started talking about it with you guys, its market cap was like it was at like 30, I think, when I first started talking. It's at 19 last I checked. It's probably higher now after this crash. Its market cap probably shot up. I mean, because it's still increasing while everything else is dropping. Love my Canton Network. Oh, love Canton. Again, love XRP as well. Love all my infrastructure plays. They all have a purpose and they're all about the long view. Canton Network just looks really good right now because everything else is hurting. The ledger is huge. So many on the sidelines to activate. Clarity is coming. I agree with you. And I know you're referring to when I was just showing you about the activity on the ledger with the accounts activity and transactions. Fast Black says, bro, I'm hearing Bitcoin is going to touch 63K. It's very possible. I'm gonna do a recap for everyone. Actually, let's hop into a recap because I see a lot of people coming in asking what's behind the crash. So, quick recap. And again, we're gonna follow this for a while because a lot of people are still waking up and a lot of people still don't know what's happening. So let's get back into the price. And if you're been in the stream a while, I apologize, but we're going to keep talking. I'm going to get through all the chat. Keep the chat going. It is the lifeblood of the stream. If you're new, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the like button. Let's help grow the stream and let's see what is actually happening. What caused the crash? Very simple. Gold and silver caused this crash. Now here, let me explain. Let me tell you a story. In order to fully understand what's going on, we need to understand the whole story, okay? So, silver. All right. I'm going to get back in the chat here in a second. I see you guys. So, silver, back on, let's go to January 1st. January 1st. Let's keep it fair. January 1st. Boom. Okay. So, on January 1st, silver was at $68. And then ran all the way up to $121. Almost a 100% increase for silver in a matter of less than a month. That is not natural. That is not supposed to happen. That is FOMO. That is leverage. That is ridiculousness, okay? Gold, not as strong as a run of silver, but also had another strong run, right? Where's my gold futures? Also had another strong run. This is not normal behavior, for metals, okay? So what happens? It gets liquidated. This is all leverage based, okay? So when it gets liquidated on a massive scale, the largest single day crash in metals since 1980, okay? 46 years. This is not nothing. This is bigger than what happened in 2008 with the housing market crash. But the thing that makes absolutely zero sense is gold and silver are still up for the month, right? Stock market went down, crypto went down, gold, silver went down, but gold and silver are still up for the month. There is a lesson to be learned in that, and the lesson is that this is about the long view. Things can look really, really scary when you zoom in, but when you zoom out that lens, it becomes clear as day. You need to view from a 30,000 foot angle. Again, not financial advice, but in my opinion, what I do is I view from a 30,000 foot angle and try to see what's playing out in real time. But when gold and silver dump like this on leverage, people get leveraged out. They have to sell whatever they can to cover their position. And the first thing to go is risk assets. That's Bitcoin, that's crypto, that's tech stocks, luckily people didn't start selling AI. Oh my God. If we have an AI bubble pop, holy crap. I'm watching that Monday. That's what I'm fearful of money. That's why I said I don't know if this is done right now. A lot of people are asking if it's going to get worse, if this crash is over. Because the market shut down while it was happening, we don't know the fallout yet. We're not going to know the fallout until Monday, Tuesday. Now we're seeing a little bit of a play out in crypto right now because those markets are 24/7. But right now, we really don't know what the damage is truly going to be. And to be honest with everybody, I do not think it's over. So how low will XRP go? I don't know. But when you have trillions of dollars liquidated, again, an event that we haven't seen in nearly 50 years, people. It's not nothing. But again, the scary thing is we had so much liquidated and it's still up for the month. Silver's up 19% for the month. And it dropped 35% in an hour. This is why you be careful with leverage. You do not over leverage. Dollar cost average in over time. When things seem too good to be true, they usually are. Don't buy things at the top. Again, none of this is financial advice. But I'm so glad that some of you pointed out that, like I have been saying over the last few weeks, I'm not buying silver right now. If I was going to invest money, I'm investing it in something else because I don't want to buy at the top. And some people heeded to that advice, and that's amazing. That it saved you guys some money. Again, none of this is financial advice, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research and make your own decisions. You can lose money in this business, obviously. A lot of people just lost a lot of money, and it's scary, man. And it's what sucks is when you see this kind of thing. This isn't retail. This is big banks, and a couple of these big banks went under. We know of one for sure. It's already been confirmed. Now, will there be another one on Monday or Tuesday? That's what we need to wait to find out. And that's why I said we don't know the full extent of this. We're not going to know till Monday or Tuesday. So it's really, really hard to predict. But yeah, this is 100% caused by gold and silver. Zero question whatsoever. Let's hop back in the chat. Again, I want to talk to everybody. And again, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Keep the chat rolling. We are going to keep going as long as we can. Meaning if XRP followed, it might see $1.20. I actually, someone asked me what I thought the bottom was for XRP. And I said, worst case scenario, like if I'm thinking doom and gloom, around $1.20, I think could be the low. And you know, Philip, I'm right there with you. For those of you who are in my stream every day, you know I just closed on a real estate deal. I just closed on a real estate deal on Friday. I'm waiting for that check to hit my bank so I can go on a crypto shopping spree. And I've been talking about crypto pulling back recently and said that I thought it was still going to continue its pullback a little bit. So it looks like I'm going to get my wish to go on my shopping spree. So yeah, I'm feeling great too. I fully plan on buying more. Jen Zach says, I'm so grateful that I'm not investing money that I am not willing to lose. This is better than going to the casino. 1,000,000%. Absolutely. You're talking about the long view and dollar cost averaging in. Hopefully you've been around the channel for a while. It's the first time I'm seeing you pop up in a stream, but you are right on board with us, my man. Welcome. Welcome. All right. This chart guy I watched showed Bitcoin pattern every cycle dropping to a certain half of its all-time before going up. If it follows its last 3 cycles, it will briefly touch 63,000. Well, there you go. And again, everyone has their own chart analysis. I typically don't do chart analysis on Bitcoin. It's not something that I follow at length. Now, I probably should a little bit more, but I'm more, as far as the technical analysis part of it, I more focus on XRP because that's what I talk about regularly. It just makes more sense to be able to talk about the levels of the main asset that I'm behind. However, I hold many assets. I am about the long view, right? For those of you who have been in the channel, you know, Canton Network, XRP, HBAR, Chainlink, and Ondo. Those are my picks. Do your own research. Philip says, buying more XRP, HBAR, and Tau. Okay, good for you, good for you. Raul says, good time to buy HBAR. It's a good time to buy just about any crypto right now, honestly. Crypto Roger said, what is behind the crash? We answered that. It is gold and silver. And There's also talk of the new Fed chair and his hawkish stances that some people were afraid, the dollar strengthening against the falling prices of gold and silver, all those things. Your typical standard things that would cause a market to crash, just at a larger scale because there was so much leverage pumped into gold and silver. Again, silver's not supposed to run 80% in a month. It's not. So this is not surprising that so many positions are being unwound. Honestly, this is why we talked about the fact that I was shorting XRP, basically. Even though I'm an XRP holder, my largest asset, I shorted it to 05. And I still hold it. I still have that short going because I thought it was going to go down to $1.75, and I had a buy order in at $1.65. And I plan to flip the position there, but I can't do it because it's a put, so I can't actually do it over the weekend. So now I just get to wait and see what happens on Monday. So I'm in an excellent position too because I planned on flipping my short to a long next week. It just happened to line up with this crash. Again, not financial advice, but it's what I'm doing. We are all buying CC on its high. Well, again, it's about dollar cost averaging in. It's not about trying to time tops and bottoms per se. Now, I have said I wouldn't buy silver at an all-time high, or I wouldn't buy these things at all-time high, but I've also specifically said that I am not applying that. I am not applying that to Canton Network. I'm just picking it up. I don't even care what the price is. I'm just picking it up. I'm trying to build that one up as one of my pillars. Let's see. Jose says all altcoins are dropping except Canton. Is reverse carry trade unwinding even with the Fed intervention in Japan? I don't necessarily think it's the Japanese carry trade per se. It's a lot of factors. I mean, again, trillions of dollars got liquidated in gold and silver in a matter of hours. I mean, people have to liquidate positions. They have to unwind. They have to pull it from tech stocks. They have to pull it from crypto. They have to pull it from wherever they can to remain solvent. So, yeah, I mean, it could be tying into it, but we didn't hike rates, or we didn't cut rates this month, but Japan did hike rates and the dollar is strengthening. And that's the funny thing. I don't think it's necessarily a reverse carry trade because that means the dollar would be weakening to the yen. And the dollar is actually strengthening right now. So, no, I don't think it's reverse carry trade. I think it's the gold and silver crash, personally. That's just me, not financial advice. 34 people in the stream. Let's keep it going, everybody. Hit the like button, share it out far and wide. We are here for the long view, right? We're here for what the price is going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, but not what it is today, tomorrow, or the next day. Let's see. Is Canton on Robinhood? No, it is not. Hang on here. I'll do this for you. Let me pull up the right screen. If you want to get anything, again, not financial advice, do your own research, but if you want to get Canton, you can get it from currently Mex, Weeks, Bybit, KuCoin, Gate, Bitmark, and Kraken. It's also available at Caleb and Brown, which is someone I am partnering with probably Monday or Tuesday. I'm waiting for them to send me my link, and I'll have that information for you guys. But yeah, you can pick it up on there as well, which, fun, exciting thing. I was going to wait till I did it, but I'll throw this information in there. And you can follow me on X, by the way, at Longview Crypto. But there was a partnership with XRP and Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown now partnering with XRP. So you can actually get your money to Caleb and Brown via XRP payments, and I will talk more with them about that when I go live with them here in a few days, which is really exciting. Again, Canton Network. If you guys follow me on X, all I'm doing is tweeting Canton. All of this information that I've talked about in the stream is also on X as well. I'm really excited about the Ondo Summit that's coming up, as well as the community day for XRP. I think a lot of information is going to be there. Again, interoperability is going to be key moving forward with the blockchains. Truthfully, I mean, and I really am expecting a powerhouse to form. I could totally see something like Ondo, XRP, and Solana forming something I think would be really, really, really cool. I answered the question on where you can get Canton. Let's go back to the chat here. I got in at all-time highs a year ago. Yeah, I know that's painful. Just unfortunately, if you keep buying it, it'll bring the average down. So when it goes up, I know it's really, really hard to look at it that way, but it is how it goes. Unfortunately, that is the long view in dollar cost averaging. You're going to buy at highs and lows. Hold your position. You'll be fine. Crypto Roger agrees. Uphold. All right. So you can get Canton on Uphold according to Abdul. Let's see. Thanks, Roger. I believe in XRP. I will come good. It will. And that's the point. Dollar cost averaging 10 years from now, we're going to look back at this crap and laugh. It's going to seem like it's nothing when price dropped 10 cents because gold dropped 14 trillion in an hour. If you really think about it from that point of view, if XRP would to shoot up, this year to $5 or $6, I'm totally going to bring back a highlight reel of chats of people freaking out of the price dropping over 15 cents. And that's the thing. I have receipts for everything I say because I come here every day and say it to the public, say it to you all. I would have thought metals went, I would have thought metals went down, crypto would go up. Well, I think over the long term, yes, but this wasn't people cycling out of metals. This wasn't people cycling out of metals to put, money into other risky positions. This was gold and silver getting liquidated like crypto, right? This was a gold and silver crash of leverage that just got liquidated. Like, remember, silver ran up 80% for the month of January. Silver and gold are trading like crypto right now. This kind of volatility in gold and silver is not normal, people. It's not. Not. Absolutely, bro. I only follow Bitcoin because XRP price seems to be connected to Bitcoin pumps and falls currently until we decouple. The future from Bitcoin will actually start using XRP utility. Agree, unless you're holding Canton Network. Canton Network does not move with Bitcoin. We have proven that over and over again. And for those of you who are maybe new to the stream and need to see that proof, we can do that for you. But Canton Network has proven it does not move with the rest of the crypto market. It moves to a beat of its own drum. So Canton consistently going up. Let's see here. You can see it right here. It's just been consistently going up regardless of what Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market has been doing. It's up 10% in the last 24 hours. So I digress. Market cap 7 billion. It's currently, I ranked 14th in market cap. It was 19th actually before the crash. So it went up 5 spots after the liquidation crash. So again, still a really small market cap on Canton Network. And none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research. It is one of my many cryptocurrencies that I hold, but I do have my 5 core infrastructure pieces, and that is one of them. Mr. Johnny says, I thought XRP would be decoupled from Bitcoin by now, considering its adoption in Dubai and some other countries. I mean, it's about to go live in Japan. It's got the adoption in Dubai. It's got the full monetary authority with the MAS Singapore. It's got its conditional banking charter in the US. It's got its conditional FCA with all of Europe. It's got its full FCA and crypto license in UK. Not to mention it has partnerships in Africa, South America. They're literally on every single continent. Do I still have that screen, I wonder? I do. So they've literally covered all of the periphery nations. They've got the trade corridors covered. They got the rule set regions covered. And this is with each license you can see here, right? They got the liquidity exporters. They got the resources of sovereign capital of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, right? They're just waiting on the core. They've attacked all of the outer layers. They just need to get the US under their wing. And we're waiting on that conditional bank charter to become fully received, as well as clarity, right? We need the Clarity Act. So that's why we follow XRP and its utility. Now, when we're looking and talking about utility, right, we have to actually take a look at what's happening on the ledger. So account set activity, we are the only channel that follows the account set activity. We've been calling out for 3 months. It has driven up and stayed at 40K for the last 3 months, basically. Again, permissions, on and off boarding, setting rules and regulations for accounts, those kinds of things. And then we're hoping to see that translate into payments. Payments have constantly increased, and now we're seeing spikes repeatedly over 1.5 million the last 2 days. So will that continue? Currently, we are at today 860,000, and it's only 10 a.m., mind you. So we want to see this push beyond 2 million payments per day and maintain that, and hopefully continue even further beyond that. But we are starting to see increased payments activity as a result of this transaction activity, or this account set activity, excuse me. These are why we follow utility. This is why we follow the overall market. What problems are we trying to solve over the next 10 years? The most amount of money made is by solving problems. That's just fact, okay? So the most amount of money made is going to be from solving problems down the road and positioning ourselves in that infrastructure to solve those problems. That's why I believe in my infrastructure plays with XRP. That's why I believe in my infrastructure plays with Canton Network. And that's why I believe in my infrastructure plays with Ondo, HBAR, and Chainlink, because they are laying infrastructure for the tokenized financial ecosystem. So let's see. The chat has died down. How many people we got in the stream right now? 30 people in the stream? Okay. I mean, the chat's died down right now. Let's keep it pumping. Let's get back into a recap of what's actually happening with price. What caused the crash? Because we do have a lot of new people in the stream. There's a lot of people scared. There's a lot of people who want to know what's going to happen next, right? We just lost a bunch of money. Do I need to sell everything? Should I buy more? What do we need to do? Well, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but I will tell you what I think. So moving into what I think, everything is down right now. XRP is now down to $1.62 and falling. Will it continue? Why is it falling? Well, it's falling because Bitcoin is falling. We all know that. Pattern is identical. So the question is, why is Bitcoin falling? Bitcoin is now at 80,000. Could it fall below 80,000? People are worried it could fall to 63,000. Could it touch below that even? Well, if you want to really look at Bitcoin volume, you have to look at it all the time. I've pointed this out since the beginning of my streams that I've always been fearful of a Bitcoin bubble burst due to the volume. So if you look at Bitcoin, the last time it had any real volume behind its purchases, you can see the volume here at the beginning, and it has been steadily decreasing as the price has been steadily increasing. That creates room for a bubble. Now, I know some people were calling out 63,000, and there's different levels. I'm not doing a full technical analysis, but when I see that the last time Bitcoin had any real volume behind it, it was sitting at 37,000. So if this continues to fall with aggression, we really don't know what is here to catch it, because we have no volume in Bitcoin since 2022. That is a scary proposition when you're looking at everything being tied to Bitcoin. This is how a decoupling could potentially happen. But XRP is following Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin crashing? Well, that's a very, very simple proposition for you. Silver shouldn't look like that all the time. Silver should not be going straight up. Silver should not be trading like crypto, okay? Someone didn't find a magic lever for silver, okay? It should have never run up this high. It hit $120 and then it had a straight liquidation spike down. And it's currently trading now. What's it trading at now? $78, okay? Silver had a 80% run for the month of January. It's still up for the month. Gold and silver are still up for the month. But when you have a liquidation event like this, where trillions of dollars evaporate in a matter of hours, when you have a liquidation like that where trillions of dollars evaporate in a matter of hours, and sorry, silver's at $85 right now, by the way, not 75 if I scared anyone. But it did drop as low as 75. when you have an evaporation like that, people get liquidated. They have to sell whatever they can to remain solvent to cover the liquidation. So the first thing to go is risk assets like cryptocurrencies. Next thing is tech stocks, like we saw at the stock exchange. This rollover hit everything, not just crypto. It hit stocks, it hit everything. So obviously gold and silver. So what causes a liquidation of the safest asset in the world? Manipulation, plain and simple. FOMO. I mean, it shouldn't have run up that high. A lot of people were shorting it. This was all leverage based. Gold and silver should never trade like cryptocurrencies. It should have never happened. I don't know how silver got so out of control to begin with. Now, like, again, it's at $85 right now. It's still up an insane amount for the month of January, but this leveraged liquidation caused selling in every other market. And that includes crypto because it's a risk asset. It's plain and simple. People had to cover their leverage. It's that simple. Nothing fundamentally changed with crypto. But that being said, this isn't over. The market shut down during that collapse of gold and silver. So we don't know what the fallout is. We already know for sure that one bank has gone under. They were acquired by another bank on Friday because they went insolvent. So there's probably more. We don't know the extent of the fallout. But I mean, when we're talking trillions and trillions of dollars liquidated in a matter of hours, people got hurt. And that's just the gold and silver. It's flowing over to the other assets because people lost everything in gold and silver. It's very simple. It's clear as day. So let's get back in the chat. Let's see what everyone's saying. Keep the chat rolling, guys. It's a Saturday. I have nothing to do. I know a lot of people are scared. It's still going up and down, and we are going to continue to cover it all. So let's see what everyone is saying in the chat right now. Let me see here. Let me pull back up my chat screen so I can pull it up here. How do you keep track of all your average price for your crypto? If you have the same token on different exchanges and wallets, have it sprinkled in several places, majority in a cold wallet. Excel spreadsheets, Quelly. Excel spreadsheets. You can put in your date, time, all of those things. QuickBooks, any of those things. But yeah, an Excel spreadsheet. Just put what you bought, how much you bought, at what price, and then you filter it in and you boop, get a little average. What's the best crypto exchange that has mostly all cryptos? I mean, there's several. I mean, I don't like Coinbase, but it's pretty much all crypto. I think I honestly think just the solo crypto exchanges are going to go away. I do. I think there's going to be a lot of joint banking, especially with the tokenization and all that stuff. Going live with tokenized stocks, tokenized treasuries, bonds, all of that stuff. It's going to be assimilated. Crypto is going to be assimilated into just traditional finance. I really do think it's going to be a merger of the two. But if you're wanting just a crypto exchange, you can do Kraken, Upbit, KuCoin. If you want, a brokerage experience that has institutional custody, you can do something like Caleb and Brown. Like those, there's plenty of options out there. Crypto Mercenary says XRP is down 40% from January 5th. Yeah, after the pump from New Year's to now, yeah, it's painful. Thanks for coming out when things look bad. Absolutely. I'm here. Okay, so if you're finding this channel, I'm here for the long view. Number goes down means I'm ready to buy. And you can ask anyone, if you guys are new to the stream and you're just coming in, you can ask any one of these guys who are in here with me every single day. I stream Monday through Saturday, at noon. I'm early today because we had a market crash. But I have been talking about putting in a large investment waiting for this crash. I currently shorted XRP with puts on XXRP last few weeks ago. And I've been waiting for the price to hit 175 was my number. I was not expecting a gold and silver crash, right? Was not my expectation. So I can't get out of those positions right now. I have to wait till Monday. So I'm getting a little bit of an extra benefit from the gold and silver crash, but I am here for the long view. I still hold XRP. I didn't sell my XRP, but I do plan on adding to my stack next week once once we figure out what's what from this gold and silver crash, I'm gonna have to wait Monday and Tuesday and watch everything unfold. Again, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research. I'm just telling you what I am doing and what I think and believe. My opinion. Have you heard of KETA? Nope, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Let's see what we're dealing with now. We got 37 in here. Again, engage in the chat. We're going to keep this going. Questions, comments, concerns. What are you here for? What are you wanting to know? I've run through all the information about 10 times. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I engage with every single chat. I'll go ahead and put up the price here and we can just discuss. But ask me questions. Keep it rolling. A lot of people are scared right now. This stream is here for you, right? What questions do you have about what's happening with gold and silver right now? What questions do you have about what's happening with crypto right now? Because truthfully, I can tell you, I mean, the answer is simple as far as people wanting to understand why crypto is crashing. It's crashing because people got way too greedy and with gold and silver, and we're treating gold and silver like it was a damn crypto. I mean, silver should have never run up 80% in a month. That should never happen. The fact that it happened is ridiculous. So again, the 5 pillars, the 5 crypto pillars of this channel are XRP, Canton Network, HBAR Chainlink, and Ondo. And this stream, if you're coming in new to the stream, this is for everybody today. The entire crypto market is down unless you're holding specifically Canton Network. But I personally hold my 5 pillars that I just listed. I also hold gold, silver, copper, and real estate. Let's see. There's a chat here. Let me get into that. Let me pull up the correct screen. Abdul says, should I buy physical gold and silver now? Well, not financial advice, obviously. If I were to do anything, I'm not doing anything till I see what unfolds on Monday and Tuesday. So right now, no. I'm going to see how things unfold on Monday and Tuesday and make my decision. Because again, the market shut down on Friday. When this happened, we have to wait for it to reopen on Monday. So until we see what the fallout is, I'm not doing anything. My opinion. That's how I'm looking at it. And if we look at what's actually happening in the crypto market here, I mean, again, everything is down with the exception of CC. We love our Canton Network. And we'll take a look at XRP here. And this is kind of a chill stream now. I've already covered all the information. That's silver holding at $85. XRP, will the crash continue? Well, when we're looking at XRP, and again, I'm covering XRP because I actually look at this chart every single day. It's the entire crypto market, ladies and gentlemen. This concerns me, and this is why I think we're going to continue to go down. I'm looking at $1.50 for the next level of XRP. I do think it's going to continue to fall. Why do I think it's going to continue to fall? Well, just like I said about our resistance level of $1.75 to $1.78, it came up, retapped, and fell. I said it's going to fall. Well, we came down to the 165 level that I had called out. It came up, retapped, and now it's continuing to fall. It may come up and test it again because it hasn't set a lower low. It hasn't gone to 161. But if we don't come back up and push through and turn this back into support, like that's how I look at it. You look at the levels, you see where it bounces. Okay, will it reclaim that spot? Okay, there's no more liquidity there. We're in oversold territory right now. We've pulled away from EMA 9. So it's probably cooling. I would expect it to come up and probably tap this resistance once or twice more to cool off RSI a little bit more before it continues to downtrend. If we want to see this reclaim anything, it's got to push through EMA 9 with some serious volume and at least get back up over the 175 level. In order to have any kind of real shot of a bounce. Until I see that, I think the downtrend continues. My opinion, not financial advice. But that's what I'm looking at it. Let's see. Even $98 for a single ounce of silver has me priced out. Well, there you go. I know you got into silver really, really early. What was it, $12 an ounce, Crypto Roger? I'm sitting at $55 an ounce. So believe me, I didn't like seeing silver drop from 120 down to 75 either. I hold it. But I just didn't think it was realistic. I knew something was going to have to give at some point. It's not maintainable. It's not how silver and gold move. Iran. What about Iran? What about Iran, Brad? What's going on in Iran? Should I Google something? Google challenge? I can Google challenge. I like Google challenges. Let's see. Iran news? Wow, explosion. Okay, let's see. Blast rips through building in Iranian port city of Bandar Abbas, state media says. Huh. Southern port. Saturday, state media reported the cause of the explosion, which killed a young girl, was not immediately clear. Iranian state firm, Far News Agency, denied rumors, said could be circulating hours. So bombing in Iran this morning comes to heightened tensions in the region following recent warnings by President Trump of possible military action against Iran. Is that the start, or is that something else? Did we bomb them, or was it just an explosion? I mean, this could just be an explosion. I mean, it's reported on CNN, but they're tying it to that, obviously. So right now, let's see. This is kind of a more chill stream for people coming in. Ask your questions as you come in. We're down to 23 now. It's dying down. People are scared, unfortunately. It's okay. I will be back. I might come back later on today. I've already released a short today. So I got itch on my ankle. I've already released a short today. I'll probably do another one. But I think that's going to be it for today. What are we at? An hour and a half? Yeah, I've been going an hour and a half, and I haven't been able to get more than 30 people in here. I guess I need to go more clickbait with the titles and thumbnails. I thought for sure we'd have more people in here trying to figure out what was going on with something this massive, but I guess not. But nonetheless, I appreciate all of you for taking your time to be here today. It was a great stream. I know a lot of you are scared. A lot of you are concerned. We're gonna stay on top of this. I might stream tomorrow. We'll see. But we'll stay on top of this, and I'm going to continue to follow it. I'll for sure be back on Monday at noon, like I always do. And if anything breaks, I'll be sure to get some information to you guys out in a short or another video. But an ankle itch is a strong indicator of a bull market, huh? Well, we'll see. Hopefully it waits till I buy. Hopefully the pump waits until I can get repurchased back in on Tuesday or Wednesday. But I think I'll call it for today. We've gone an hour and a half. My hour and a half. My throat is dry. I'm stumbling on my words. I'm gonna take a break, but I will catch you guys on the next one. All right. Stay calm. Stay committed. Long view. 5 year, 10 years from now. Not what price is doing today and tomorrow. Nothing fundamentally changed for XRP. Do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. Not financial advice. Later.